It's Athletics LLC. Like now I need a singing theme song. Can't do
No,
cheeks. Ricky song.
no.
Welcome everyone. So we've almost got the squad back together. That time of year where everybody's kind of piecemealing all of our tasks together and one day, one of these nights, the stars will align and we'll be blessed with 5 tiles. But until then, we'll keep it pushing. So before we get everything started, how's everybody doing? Mr. Goon Squad, how are you tonight?
I am doing spectacular. It's that time of the year where I ask myself why exactly I chose to be a professional in 2 spring sports, but it's uh it's really it's interesting in May. It's more interesting in June for sure. But then we're good, right? May and
Not
June.
really. In July,
Yeah,
it sucks too.
yeah, but that's the thing. Like in July, baseball, like once the draft happens, like baseball kind of goes right, and then it's all track all the time for the rest of the summer, and then I can fit baseball in. It's just May and June where like you can't decide. Well, this thing is more important than this thing. It's like having 2 children, so you're like, I have to clone myself and be both places, and you just make those kind of decisions. But thank you so
Got it.
much for asking.
Governor, how are you tonight?
Um, the 10-day taper begins or began
Mm-hmm.
today. And from here on out, it's just a steady diet of you're okay, you're fine, you're gonna be all right.
Just warm up and see how you feel after you
Warm
warm
up how
up.
you feel. It's not there, go home.
Yeah.
Stop panicking. Go get an ice cream. The work is done. We've been training for 8 months. Calm down.
The
Calm down.
hay is in the barn. The hay is in the barn. How many times did I say that in the last 2 days?
Absolutely. Yes.
Got it. Clyde, how are you tonight?
Well, down here in the trenches, this time of year is
This guy
very difficult.
That's a very nice trench.
in
Right?
the trenches, he said.
Yes.
Trenches.
In
This
the
time of year
trenches.
is very interesting as we are prepping for championships, not this weekend, next weekend. Yes, we are in the decline in the setup for training, but I am in trenches trying to make sure that all organizational things for next week go off without a hitch, because if there's anything that can derail you at a championship, it is chaos off the track.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trenches, we don't have like ops and all those fancy folks, to help us out. So we just grind here, trying to get ready for the show.
I can share my Easy Cater orders with you if you'd like.
Yeah, nah, me and Easy Cater got beef. I don't mess with Easy Cater right now.
I did the same, and then I gave them one more chance, and they haven't undone it yet. One more time. Anyhow, I neglected to announce via the internet who won the estimated opening time for Grant.
It wasn't
Whatever me to
me.
go. It was, you know what? It's funny. It actually wasn't. But one of us was kind of close. But
It
there's
wasn't
someone who
me.
got it on the dot, and that is Mr. Anderson. And Anderson, I didn't ask you how to say your last name. I know how to spell it. Memerol. But he's actually the host of the podcast, The Final Leg, and he does some work with some of the other online entities. But he guessed it on the dot 13-1. So I've already collected his information, and he will be receiving the nice little gift from Grant himself. But that was a fun one. It was fun. So we'll have to think of other ways to entice people to publicly guess at a later time.
Yo,
Anyhow,
speaking of podcasts, did anybody else see Fred Curley on the podcast with Anson?
I did see that.
Okay,
Did
we're not
see-
going to go deep into these woods, but I'm just going to say this, so that because I know this will get back to Anson. When I see you, we got beef. Because this man gonna ask Fred what his ideal 4x1 would be, and he said either CC or Grant at leadoff, him at 2, Arion at 3, and Noah at 4. And Anson gonna reply, "Congratulations, you have now secured the silver." Huh? So anyway, I just had to put that out there. Anson, we got beef.
I'm saying we love Anson, but we all know he be off the rocker sometimes.
This man has lost his mind talking about. He described Canada as a relaying country. A, I laughed at that, but B, Fred's response was ideal. He said, "Yeah, that is what y'all are—a whole bunch of relay bandits."
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Well played.
I wanted to share because listen, Fred is one of those people whose Q rating is like 1 million. Right, you definitely need the beeper to make sure because there's going to be cuss words flying, but the things that come flying out of that young man's mouth, spectacular as it pertains to the media. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail the show, Big League. Please take the reins. I'm gonna shut up.
Goodness gracious. With that, track is back. Track. So also my perspective, the experience I had this weekend was my first experience at Penn Relays. So I know that the experience that I got was not the 100% experience from what everyone has told me. Those were there, those who have been there and whatnot. But I do understand that it is getting better. The competition was better. Those in attendance, it's looking better. The weather was better this year. There was a glimmer, like literally little sprinkles of rain droplets on Saturday. The wind wasn't horrible. It was quite pleasant, I'll say. I mean, I didn't go home with soggy socks, so I was very excited about that.
That is the most lukewarm endorsement of Penn Relays I've ever heard in my life.
But I have nothing to compare it to. That's why.
I was just about to say she doesn't have so she doesn't know about. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example.
Doesn't.
I sent a text Chuck. I sent a text while she was there. Is this the women's qualifying day or the men's qualifying day? She sends back, query emojis and was like, they both qualify on the same days. And I was like, oh, see, you getting the JV version. Because it used to be there was an entire women's qualifying day, followed by an entire men's qualifying day, followed by Championships of America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different. Everything's co-ed and going off. And I learned today, because we have somebody that we're talking to, that the way the time setup was, the high schoolers only could throw one event. They couldn't do the shot and the disc double. They had to choose because of the timing. I was like, oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we all know for sure that you didn't have a real Penn Relays experience because you didn't have a Jamaican beef patty.
Right.
Don't just stop. So I went to the reading terminal. I get in line at the Jamaican spot, the one Jamaican spot in the terminal. I get to the lady. I go, may I please have an oxtail plate? And she looks at me. She said, we're out. I was so distraught by that answer, I left without the beef patty. I forgot about the beef patty. I literally left. I was like,
are you talking about in the stadium?
No.
No.
So there wasn't anything.
They don't have that experience anymore, Kareem.
The carnival that's outside is completely
corporate.
It's corporate, platonic. Yeah. It's Toyota. I laughed out loud. So I was walking through. So we didn't really stay in the warm-up area very much, but we were there the first day. I walked through to get to the stadium to just kind of preview it for the pole vault. And Team Jamaica tents up, and this guy literally like stops me and is like, ma'am, you need to support Team Jamaica. I said, well, Team Grenada will be very upset with me, so I can't. And I just kept walking. And I was like, I get you don't know who I am, and I get I don't know look like none of that. I said, but Grenada, not having it. But anyways, yeah, it's nothing like what I have been told it was. So yeah, I had to go to the reading terminal to get my non-Jamaican have an oxtail place.
Well, let me just put you this way, too. They used to sell
Yes.
Jamaican beef patties via vendors
Yes.
I know
in
across
the
the street.
stadium.
In
No,
the
no,
stadium.
in the stadium. Like, you didn't have to go find them.
Under the
You just had to
stand.
stop one of
Under the
them
grandstand.
under the
Oh
grandstand.
yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
and
literally, like,
you would eat 8 of them during the course of the meet.
and they would have bun and cheese. They would have
Yeah.
bun and cheese.
Yes.
See,
So listen, since we are all, with the exception of Miss Chewy, since we all have nostalgic, positive vibes of what Penn used to be,
Used to be.
I will say, as a person whose name is on the wall of fame at Penn,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
That-
hold on. Let me
Okay.
settle flex real quick.
Let's.
I will say,
Anyway, is that what we're doing now?
I will say that Penn sucks. It does. It sucks now. It is what it is. Look,
Yeah, it's never gonna be what it used to be. That's not even
right.
possible.
And so this is my point, right? Certain things in life just change. Change is inevitable. And when the change has come and gone, rather than hold on to the past, you should invent new ways for the thing to be cool again. Right?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
called Tom Jones.
Well, hold on. Because all of the things, as we just were trying to explain it to you, like all of even the little, we're to the point now where even the little pleasures of Penn
Yes.
are gone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when you look at it that way from a collegiate perspective, it's just a very average track meet that's really expensive to go to. I mean, the meet of the weekend was either the LSU Invitational or the Desert Heat Classic out in Arizona.
Right.
Either one of those competitions were far superior from a collegiate level. Now, there will always be the true nostalgia of track and field at Penn, which is the high school segment. And we don't, for obvious reasons, get into the particulars of high school meets throughout the country, but the high school portion of it was dope. And it's always dope. And it was intriguing, and there were memorable performances, and there were records, and all of that is dope. And that will forever be, because the Jamaicans will continue to show up, and the East Coast, powers that be in America will always be there. And every now and then you'll get some others mixed in. But at the end of the day, from the pro side and the collegiate side, like Penn has fallen so far off from what it was. Like, you just got to kind of accept that, people, and get past it, and hopefully that they will find a new way to make it cool, because it's just not cool anymore.
Well, the idea that it was exciting to warm up on the street sidewalk,
Mm-hmm.
to just find the space to warm up on the sidewalk,
And then stand in the paddock,
and then stand in the paddock
and then run prelims of the 4x1 without blocks.
without blocks.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
You couldn't wait to do it.
you couldn't wait to do it.
And and again, for the general public who've never been there, this is all on a track that is 375
Yes.
meters or something like that
Yes.
in lane 1.
Yes.
Like 400 meters, they actually have a railing in like lane 3. That's where 400 meters starts. So again, it's one of those things, right? We do a lot of things that are not optimal because of tradition.
Yeah.
But when the traditions get taken away and stripped away, it is exactly what Clyde said. It then just becomes a mediocre meet.
Yes.
That is like, it's like the old guy at the club. Like, he used to be cool, right? He used to have
Oh
game.
my gosh.
No, I'm being serious. Like, to me, that's what Penn feels like. Penn feels like the old guy at the club. Like, he's just standing around with old game, and he's got on a fedora, and he says things like, "Yeah, Daddy-O." It just like Penn is just not. It's just not it anymore, right? Like, I would like to know if Penn is even on the World Athletics calendar,
It is.
right? It's probably because of the USA versus the World Relays,
Right. So those events were all silver.
but nothing else.
Were any of those entertaining? Were
I-
any of those
Did you
awesome to
hear anything
watch?
about it? I didn't hear anything.
I hear a word.
Well, think about it. They couldn't be good, right? Because World Relays is next week. Everybody's in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So anyway, I know one thing I would love to hear about, because Clyde was in the building. One of the oldest and definitely one of the best track meets on this planet. Somehow, I'm looking right at you, JJ Clark. Somehow, the big meet was held on a Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah, I said it. You listen. I'm on this show because I speak truth, right? The meet that's more than 100 years old and is more important than most people's lives was on a Tuesday, because folks had to go to Penn to do their Stanford at Penn thing. But you were in the building, so please tell us about the excitement and awesomeness of the 100 and something big meet.
127th, I believe, iteration.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So I didn't go to Cal, but I did work there for a while. And if you've watched the show in the past, you know that we are fans of nostalgia. We are here for the lining up and racing your rivals once a year. It is good for you. In practice, it is important. Having the meet on a Tuesday is odd. So our practices wrapped up a little early. And so I drove up Stanford and got there basically at the start of the meet. The meet itself, like the performances, were okay. If you look at the results, the Cal Bears absolutely thrashed the Stanford men. Like, epic blowout on there. But the women's was a pretty competitive meet. But when I tell you that, had it not been for the music that was playing, like, the atmosphere was mostly dead. And why? Because it was Tuesday.
Because unlike Drake, they did not have the club going up on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
So I don't know. Like, I've never experienced that, right? Like, I went to UCLA. I've run in the UCLA USC duel. I've coached in the big meet. Like, it felt on a Tuesday more of an annoyance than a competition. And for someone who's a fan of it, like, I don't know, that just didn't feel right, Well,
that's because that's how it was treated by the current Stanford head coach and staff. Again, I said it.
So I hope in the future that the fans can enjoy that on a weekend, on an appropriate weekend where it should be, because that meet, regardless of the score, is cool. And dual meets where and when you can have them are extremely cool, and we should have more of them. We should definitely talk about the very interesting results from 5 hours south, the UCLA USC dual meet, which was on the weekend. Yeah, it was a little rough.
I mean, for those who have not watched the show from the beginning, we every year we cover big meet and dual meet weekend. Shenanigans are afoot every year.
Oh, yes.
every year. We had people talking last year, wasn't it? We had people talking smack and pointing batons and then losing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened last year.
So what do we have in store this year?
Well, just the raw data. USC swept the meet. The women won 85 over UCLA 74. The men was a 99-60. If you look through the results, you know, some of these things have happened before, but it's just when you go to a dual meet, like things that stand out, like a true dual meet with like passion, certain things just stand out, right? I don't know who won the 1500. I'm gonna scroll through it and look. I imagine the UCLA won it. And they did. To my point, they swept it. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, and USC was 5th and 6th. That doesn't hit as hard as USC going 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 100, or them going 1, 2, 3, you know, in the sprint events, if you will. So it was like when you watch those kind of meets, the takeaways that you come off of it are crazy. But the craziest thing that I was able to see in that was the men's 4x1. If you look at the results, USC's men won the race in 43-29. Why were they able to do that? Because
UCLA dropped a stick.
No, drop the stick. Nah. They showed up late to the line with humans that did not look like they were meant to get ready to run the 4x1. And by all evidence, false started on purpose. So the USC dudes just took themselves a little jog around the track. So easily the slowest win in dual meet history, 43-29 by the USC men.
So I need everybody who doesn't do dual meets to understand why this is an absolute travesty, right? Like the key to dual meets are the relays because they're scored 5-0.
Yeah.
Right? So you could actually have a relatively terrible meet. If you win both relays, you're probably going to win the meet because that's 10-0. So if you show up to the 4x1 without people ready to run and you false start, you had basically no shot. That's crazy.
You're like, I wish, you know, it's on the Pac-12 network. So it's like, if you didn't see it, you're probably not going to get to see it again. But if you watched it if you saw it in real time, you're like, yo, what's happening right now? It was really funny. It was really funny.
That's wild. So Big League, this was your first trip to Penn. To steal from Scott Van Pelt, what's the best thing you saw?
Goose running at 15. That was pretty cool.
What do you run?
Fast.
That's why I love this show.
Fast.
Evidently, Yard and the Goose. Fast.
It was a good time. I don't remember it right now. I'll be honest with you. Did a lot of numbers today. Couldn't even pull it out if I tried.
Am I the only person that feels like his times belie his technique?
Yes.
Like when I watch him run, I'm like, there's no chance this young man is fast. And then he is. And it always blows my mind.
He's
Yep.
very aerodynamic.
It's something.
And by that I mean this.
Not at all. Exactly.
He's got bird.
He has pieces going everywhere. It look like if you had good editing skills, you could stop some of his full run techniques and make it into a breakdance maneuver.
You know, I'm sensing a topic here. I'm sensing a topic, and I'd love to hear what our top 5 most unique running styles that we've seen in our careers, what would be in our top 5? I'll start. Anita Howard.
All right. Oof. Ooh.
See, that's
Whoa.
you probably have no idea,
Mm-mm.
Clyde in big league.
No.
Everyone who watches the show, Google videos of Anita Howard.
Anita Howard, boy.
Okay, I will see your Anita Howard and raise you to a Mark Everett.
Oh Lord, absolutely.
We got full-fledged signaling running 143. So the story is he broke his arm, I think playing football when he was in high school, and he had this cast on, and it caused him to run. He couldn't run even. And when he took the cast off, he still ran like that. And I called BS on it eons ago, but if you watch any race of Mark's, there's a head back and one signaling arm. I mean, we gotta put MJ in there, right?
Anita Howard would run the whole last 100 like this.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to do this, but this is happening. She's literally winding her arm up.
How did she not
Yeah.
fall over?
This
You don't
woman,
know.
50 point.
She ran fast.
You know.
I mean, look, let's call it what it is. Like Michael Johnson definitely has the worst, the least anatomically pleasing running form for anyone that ever ran a world record.
Yes.
So I would definitely need more thought on that in the moment.
Right.
But I'll tell you, just on some of the rosters I've coached myself, I got some top 5s for certain.
Oh my goodness.
There have been some doozies. Okay, wait. Number one, without question, a person with absolutely awful running form who was actually really good is Paula Radcliffe.
Oh man.
Because I would challenge anybody to watch her run for 60 seconds and not feel the pain.
Yes.
Because this is an actual view of it. She ran. No, that's not an exaggeration. She ran a marathon world record like that.
Dead serious.
Like, looked like her head was going to come off of its neck.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. And this is fun. But we would be remiss not to get into some of the very interesting results that came out of Drake relays this weekend.
Yes, please. Let's I have not heard about Drake. I did not.
So here's one for you. And then for the record, this is part of the reason why Penn has fallen off the map, because for years now, Drake has been a more enticing place for pros to show up and run their individual races.
Well, they also are they still paying, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah, sure.
The grocery store chain pays.
Yeah.
Hy-Vee, that's
Hy-Vee.
it.
So the one that stood out to me, we'll have to go back and check the rest of them, but in the 400 hurdles, Aldrich Bailey Jr., fresh off of vindication, USADA, upsets Trevor Bassett and gets a 48.8 on the board.
That's right. In lane 8, like on the outside. Lane 8. Yeah.
It was a big deal. And given everything that young man has had to endure, I thought that was pretty dope. Darius racing the adults, racing the pros, dropped 13.25 into a headwind. That dude is rolling. Current number 1 in the NCAA. Props to him. And if you are a fan of the sprint hurdles, I would just like you to go on to Tifers and check out the vast disparity between the East and the West at the top of the hurdle game right now.
Oh, yes.
The West is a bloodbath.
Yes.
Like, my God. The West is crazy.
Well, I mean, since we're in the world of short tracks, right? Anybody else see the video of Casey Lightfoot jump 595 indoors in the mall?
Saw it.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
Okay, it was super dope, but I was 100% sure at one point in time he was going to land on the second floor of the mall because they
Perception.
pushed the pits so far back, right?
Yeah, it did.
The view perception for sure looked like he was like there's a lady standing right here.
Mhm.
She's on the second floor of the mall, and it looks like she can reach out and touch him. She's probably like 10 feet from him, but the way they have the angle looks like Casey's about to land and then go but get some shoes from Florsheim or something, because he was all up on the second floor.
That's fine.
So the mall vault is dope. I think that is one of the few
please.
That's one of the few like hinky things, especially now. Like, listen, we have a mall here in where I live that for sure is like a prime suspect for a whole mall track meet, because there's like 21 stores left in this 3-story mall. So there's plenty of space and time, right? Okay, see, y'all are laughing. I said because I was trying to be kind. I counted them. That's how few there are. There are 8 establishments on the second floor of the mall.
Oh gosh, the amount of tangents we could go on.
Right? Big box malls are like, I'm like, who is still paying these rents? But anyway, there could be a mall indoor meet.
I mean, there could.
Like, there really could. You could run a 60 in there. You could pole vault, obviously. There's definitely, you just clear out the food court. We could have a shot put comp pretty easy.
You
I'm
know
just
what?
saying.
I have a question it's really for the EP, but by all means, y'all jump in there. Now, last week, he asked us to give grades, if you will, to the results from the first Diamond League out in China. And I remember some very particular raving about the 100-meter results.
Here we go.
So I just want to know if we're going to rave again about the other results from the second meet.
So here, I will respond to that since you're taking shots.
No,
I think everyone would agree that context matters, right? So the first meet's results were tempered with travel, lack of sleep, time zone, right?
Yeah.
When you produce the same, similar, whatever marks a week later, those marks are terrible. So, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, I hate to say this because I don't want to be one of those people who like poops on track. I watched 2 track meets this past week that I wish weren't on television. The Beijing Diamond League, because there was like 2 good events, and the women's hurdles will never, ever, ever not be awesome. They're always going to be awesome. But there was like 2 good events in that meet. And like, listen, I love all the people involved, and I'm sure the country is beautiful, but the meet in Bermuda needs to stop being on television. Because you have strong winds. So you either have times that don't make any sense, or you have times that really don't make any sense, right? So they're either running with these 4 to 6 meter per second winds, and you're like, really, they ran that slow with that wind? Or worse, they're running into those winds, and you're like, okay, listen, I'm watching grown-ups run like 11-year-olds. So at the end of the day, like, there's no way that was good for the sport. I love the beat, if that makes any sense. I love the people. Peachy's awesome. Like, I love like why the meet exists. But if it's going to be in Bermuda, the wind is never going to, like, look, they call it the Bermuda Triangle for a reason, right? Like, the wind is never going to acquiesce to 2.0.
That's right, especially during that time of the year. So you're saying,
but to your point, like, Look, the second meet in China should have been much better than the first, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So we're not overtly impressed with Simbine upsetting Christian and Fred in the 100.
I mean, I'll say this. I'm always more impressed with who you beat than what you run. Always. Right? So I think that matters to Simbine, if that makes any sense. Right? Those are legitimate scalps, and the first time he's beaten those people when it matters, and it wasn't in Africa. Right? So that's relevant. But what I think is more relevant is Christian and Fred have work to do.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Right. And I think more telling to that is it's obvious that Christian is working on something, right? And it's less there than I thought from the first meet. But I don't think any of us are sure what it is that Fred is working on.
Yep.
Because, like,
well,
it's like it's like an NFL game when you have two quarterbacks, it means you have none. Like, if he's not going to be an elite starter and he's not going to be an elite finisher, I'm just not sure who he's going to be.
Well,
and I had somebody ask me what I thought were the chances that Fred runs a quarter this year, and I was like, I hope 0, because I feel like that would be an absolute punt.
Riddle me this. Where is Fred training, and who is he training with now?
From my understanding, again, not like I have insider information, but from my understanding, he's in LA.
Okay.
There was much ado about nothing. There were multiple Fred sightings, multiple places, but from my understanding, he is still in Los Angeles with that crew. But I still want to send out. I want to send out an APB because I need somebody to put their eyes on and take a picture and send me a picture of Michael Norman, because I'm concerned. I feel like he's in witness protection.
So speaking of so to take that point that you just made, not necessarily the times, but who you beat. I was surprised to see Daryl Nita win the 200, but not that she won it. I was surprised at the space she put on the field.
Space.
Now, 22.6 is a solid run, but like the Navy of Battle has always, just generally been a better 200-meter runner, right? And then you had Sha'Carri in there, you had Tamara Clark in there, who most people would consider a 200-meter specialist. Kambunji's a solid 200-meter person.
Yeah, she took, if you look at scalps, she took a lot of women's 200-meter scalps in that race. A lot.
Yeah. And I mean, it's April and, we're just talking about the things that are going on in the world. But I will say I was surprised at the space that she put on those people.
Again, I think a lot of times people can overblow things in April and May, right? Like it's recency bias and all those things, they all happen. But I don't think you can ever, who you beat will always matter. I just firmly believe that.
So shall we just wrap up? Let's go through some of the results that were, just from my perusal. Most recently, Fabry going 22.88 in the shot. Did you see that?
I did.
That was huge.
How about Rashida's 10.8?
Ooh, we watched it. Man. Very nice. Very, very.
I mean, if we look at relevance to what they do, that might be that and Tobogo's 30-point might be the two best things we've seen this year.
There's a D2 record set in 100, 11:04, Alexis Brown.
Yeah.
Candace Hill running 11:01, as fast as she's run in a long time.
In a long time, sir. That's the fastest she's run since high school.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know Candace Hill from a can of paint. but I'm going to say this. If I was there, I probably would have gave her a hug because I know somewhere that day she went somewhere and cried.
That's right.
Because that's the first time she ran fast in a really long time.
A really long time.
Where is she training these days?
No,
I don't even know.
Christian
Big
Miller.
League, do you know? Do you know where?
It's with a group that we talk about, but I can't remember where. She's like secretly training with them, if I remember correctly.
She in
Not
Texas
secretly.
or Florida?
I think she's still on that side, Florida, Georgia, but excuse me. But she's training with her group. I just can't remember which one. And it's not secretly.
Well,
I'm just saying, like, it's one of those, like, we don't know that she's there because
well, I'll just say
not
this.
here.
I'm quietly rooting for Miss Candace Hill to finally get a chance to realize some of the potential everyone has talked about for close to a decade, it feels like.
So fastest sprinter in the world just happens to be a 17-year-old high schooler.
Still taking scalps.
Yep. Dina Asher-Smith, 22:29. Looked really good doing that. Valerie Allman, 69.86 in the discus. Aaliyah Hobbs, 10.78, 2.2 wind.
Yeah. Might have some value there.
Yep.
So my issue with that is you don't run Fugazi times at LSU, but LSU people run spectacular times at LSU. I don't know if that makes sense. Like what I'm saying, like the times are real, right? But they're at home, and those times don't always translate for them. That's all I'm saying. Like, I want to see Aaliyah Hobbs run really, really fast.
Listen, at this point in the career, it's very, very simple. Will Miss Hobbs be ready to put it together at the end of the season
when it's time
to make a team?
Yes,
on the day.
Everybody
knows how spectacular she is indoors, and she always does this. She rolls during this period, and everybody gets ready. And it hasn't come through recently, but there's a lot of people rooting for her, including me. We just we hope she can do it when it really needs to be done.
Yes.
I have a question for y'all. And I actually don't know what I'm expecting y'all to say. Aside from the 400-meter hurdle crew choosing to get involved, does Paulino have a challenger in the women's 400?
Absolutely. I don't think Paulino's going to win.
Who?
Shawnee
one
Miller.
that just had a baby.
So you are here for the return of Miller Weibo. She's going to be Miller Weibo.
Okay. So again, what do I always say, right? History is the best determiner of the future, right? Okay. In the history of women's track, there hasn't been a female that does a running event that has had a baby and the next year wasn't ready to kill everybody.
Yes.
Not to mention, she went home, right? Like she's as comfortable a place she could possibly be. She's in the Bahamas.
Yep.
Sure, but that also means that she is away from the coaching that produced her to be Shawnee Miller Weibo.
I mean, as much as I hear you, at this point in her career, I think that the next time we see her, she's going to run really fast. That's what I believe. But to your point, I saw a thing. They're doing Otto's picks, right? And Otto actually predicted on the NBC that he believes that Sid is going to run the 400 and not the 400 hurdles.
Woo.
Hey, when I said that, y'all said I was crazy.
So, no, I think you're both crazy, but
okay.
No, I do. But I also sort of get it, right? Like, listen, nobody on this panel would ever get tired of winning their best event. But none of us would ever be like, well, I've done all that I can or wanted to do that or interested me in that event. I need new challenges because I'm trying to win as many gold medals as humanly possible, and I would imagine all three of you are as well. But given who she is, things that have come out of her mouth, and we all know who her coach is.
That's right.
I low-key sort of get it. Like, I ain't no way I would do it.
Listen,
But
this was my thinking of it at the time. I don't even remember how much of this I said on the show, but it's really very simple for me. And I don't know Sid personally or anything like that. From a 400-meter hurdle perspective, she has literally mastered that thing.
that's what Otto said.
The only thing that she has to do with that event is entertain herself and see how much more she could push it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Sid is not only a unicorn of talent, she's also a unicorn in the business of track and field. Sid doesn't need track and field to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Sid doesn't need her track and field contract to make money. Sid's got business off the track, right? So for me, it's a legacy play. You're already the GOAT at 400 hurdles. There's nothing you can do at 400 hurdles that's going to change that. There's nothing that you're going to do at 400 hurdles that's going to make people think more highly of you. But if you become the GOAT at both, then that's a legacy that is untouchable. And we all know that, at least from an American record perspective, her coach absolutely wants that American record.
Yes.
And that's the specimen for him to go get it for him.
Yes.
So
to me, it's the obvious thing is for her to go run the 400. Who cares about the 400 hurdles at this point?
Well, I mean, are we just like, I'm sorry, we just eschewing gold medals now?
To Sid?
Listen to me. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sound crazy because I love Sid. If Sid runs the 400, I'm not sure she beats Paulino or Shawnee.
Cool. And then at least it's a race worth watching.
Yeah.
At least there's a spectacle to be had.
Listen, how we feel about as fans is one thing. We talking about legacy, right? Like, we don't want to be back-to-back gold medalists for 400 hurdles. Like, what?
That's not nearly as valuable as you did it in both events.
You're high. Because she's not winning the gold medal in the 400. Listen, if I thought she was going to run 47 and win, if I thought she was going to run 47 and win,
let me say this, sir. It don't matter what you or I think.
No, you're right.
If Sid is going to pursue the 400, best believe her and Bobby Kersey believe she's going to run 47 and win.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, you are right. You are. Listen, Bobby will not have her doing it unless he thinks she's going to win. That we can all agree.
This fits right into the narrative that we all know Bobby lives in and preaches, and that is, we have to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
We have to be uncomfortable.
See, I will believe that Bobby's going to have her do the 400 at the trials if I see her run a 200 somewhere. Then I'll believe it.
So
far,
what have
we seen?
Enough,
we've seen a 4x1.
Interestingly enough, the Dutch team is in the Caribbean getting ready for World Relays.
Right.
And Miss Bowl decided to go PB in the 100. Ran 11:47 over the weekend. You know, and it's clear what she's trying to do. It's clear what she's gearing up for. This, all I can say is this. I mean, June, July, August are going to be absolutely riveting in my opinion. Absolutely riveting. I can't wait. Because starting this weekend, I mean, are we going to make any picks for World Relays or not?
I
mean, sure, we should do that.
Sure. Never done that before.
I mean, but we here for it, Chew. Get your picks ready, Chew.
Off the rails. Oh my gosh.
dude, the World Relays is such an incredible idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just need them, as usual, to figure out where to put it so that it would act like, look, if you're telling me I'm going to watch World Relays, I don't want to watch the B level of any country. And that's my issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
The World Relays 4x1 for the United States is not the A team. End
No.
of story.
Right.
I'm not dissing those people. They just need to understand they're not the A team. And to me, if we're going to run relays for a championship that is global, it needs to be the A team.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I will say, A team or not, both of those groups are totally capable of winning if their passes are clean.
I agree. But again, they're not racing Jamaica's A team either.
Sure.
So that's my issue, is that World Relays is something that actually could catapult our sport, right? Because everybody gets team portions. They get relays, right?
Yeah.
And we botch them so often. Like, this would be an opportunity for us to go and like build some street cred. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, listen, I like.
I think the scheduling problem. The scheduling problem is tied to the fact that at the end of the day, what World Relays actually is a qualifying meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
And
for everybody else.
Right. And if that reality remains, then you're rarely going to get what you're asking for. You know what I mean?
Well, the idea, and I'm still trying to grasp or get an understanding of it, because I'm hearing that literally for most of the particulars, they just need to get past the first round and they're done. They literally just need to get through the prelims to the next round, and it's good.
Yeah, because then the rankings, and again, like, we're not going to bore people on this, but at the end of the day, what the Olympics is, what, the top 16 relay teams in the world.
Yes.
If you make the final in World Relays, just based on the world ranking points that you will get from that, you will be ranked in the top 16, even if your performance is not necessarily in that top 16.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, that they do that to entice those to show up to World.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. The best teams will not run their A teams, but all of the B level squads will be loaded for bear.
Yes. Right.
Like, you best believe Japan is going to be wrecked to go.
So, having said that, let's throw some random fun with it. We got the mixed relay final, men's 4x1 final, women's 4x1 final, men's 4x4 final, women's 4x4 final. Chewy, who you got? I assume you're gonna pick Grenada at some point.
No. But okay, who did we just watch?
Huh?
It was Spain's women's team.
They were good.
They were nasty at Tom Jones.
They were good.
So
didn't they win Penn? I feel like Spain's women's team won the USA versus the World Relays at Penn Relays.
Wow, that would speak so lowly of Penn.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe it was at Penn.
I think it was at Penn that you're thinking of.
It was at Penn. It was at Penn. But it was very nice, very nicely ran.
All right, so let's start with the easiest of the relays, the men's 4x4. Who you got, you?
Grenada. I'm kidding.
I have to go with USA.
Okay. KST.
Let me have a look at this. I'm looking at the entries.
Where are those?
I refuse to look at the entries. USA is my answer.
Hang on.
Wait, where are the start lists?
There are no start lists. The start list will be on.
Where are the entries? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna incoming. Okay. So I'll go with USA.
Okay. I too will go with USA for the men's 4x4.
I mean, listen, that's a
Wait a minute.
crazy call if you don't pick them.
Okay, so we can make it more difficult, you know. USA, we're all taking USA for the win. Second and third.
No.
Medal count.
No.
The medal count, Chewy.
No, we're good.
Oh.
We have so many other relays to pick.
All right. Women's 4x4.
Netherlands.
Ooh-wee. You see, the fact that we are all woo-sighing says it
No,
all.
I'm giving it to the Netherlands. Are they
trying
even
to-
running?
I'm trying to see. Yeah, they're running. I'm trying to see who's on the U.S. women's team.
Kendall Ellis, Quinera Hayes, Alexis Holmes, Paris Peoples, Naisha Robinson, is that her name?
Nice.
Yeah,
Aisha?
Nasha.
Maya Singletary and Jessica Wright.
Netherlands.
I'll take the Netherlands.
So lie. Stop. We need to stop. We really need to.
No, we don't.
We really need to stop.
Okay. All right, so there's 2 for the Netherlands. Governor, who you got?
Netherlands.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Y'all are disrespectful.
Okay.
I'm going to take Team USA, and it's mostly because I don't see Femke Bowles' name on the
Yes,
Netherlands
she
roster.
is. Look right below Netherlands.
Wait.
She's the 1st
Mhm.
name. And then, yeah.
And Clava's there too, right?
Yes, Clover's there.
Yeah. Shut it down,
Oh,
sir.
okay. I see how I missed that. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Netherlands. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh man.
Take the Netherlands. All right. So men's mixed relay. The mixed relay.
Oh, we have to pick this.
Hey, yes. It is a international event now. They give out all the medals. Yes.
So for
Is
this-
Poland running?
I'll actually give it to USA on this one.
Y'all. One Mr. Stephen Gardner, Shanae Miller, and Antonique Strawn are running for the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Bahamas. I didn't know that one.
For the win. Bahamas.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my Bahamas on.
Listen, what y'all have to understand about this, if you don't know this for real, the Bahamians are very proud people.
Oh, absolutely.
It's in
Especially
their
when it comes to
building.
relays.
Yep.
It's in their building, and respectfully, they know they probably don't really have a shot at the men or the women because they don't have
Go for
enough
the mix.
depth. But if you put them together,
That's right.
that's the one they're coming for.
Yep.
That's the one they're coming for.
Wow.
Yeah. Bahamas. Bahamas for the win. Okay. Women's.
Wait, but I want to go backwards. Did y'all look at who the men's U.S. group is for the men's 4x4 that we all said was going to win?
I did.
If
mean,
if they don't beat the brakes off of the rest of these teams, Champion Allison, Christopher Bailey, Bryce Deadman, Will London, Ja'Cory Patterson, Demarius Smith, and Will Wright.
There you go.
That's right. There should be no mistakes here. That should be our easiest win.
I mean, it would look really, really bad on the quartet that is on the track that does not finish first. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
All right, where we at
So,
now?
we are
We
on
the 4x1s?
We're on the 4x1.
Men? Women.
Women's 4x1.
Oh.
Well, I was looking at Austria, but Kambunji's not running, so that's a no.
The Bahamas looks like they can put something together.
Padria Seymour is in the relay pool. I'm going to pass.
that there's also a plethora of other names that are in that pool.
No, for sure. I mean, listen, the world record holder indoors in the hurdles is the first name. So, like, I know she can run relays.
You gotta assume that Devin will be on the
And
track.
charisma.
Assume that charisma is going to be on the track.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I said
they are going to be good. Chu, you're not going to pick your people?
not when I'm looking at Nigeria's pool.
I thought you was going to pick the People's Republic of China.
I mean, no, they didn't look very good at Tom Jones.
You can go with the original pick of Spain?
No, not at all. Nigeria. I changed it to Nigeria.
Wow.
You're taking the Nigerians.
I am taking the Nigerians.
Dewey's taking the Nigerians. Okay. First of all, I would just like to shout out that Team Liberia, aka the F team from Team USA, is hilarious.
Please stop.
Yeah, that's hilarious. USAF, Liberia.
Oh goodness.
I'll tell you what, it's also an interesting grouping of people that are on the relay card for Jamaica for the women. I'm
going with USA. I'm going USA.
Realist of real talk here. I like the US group, but I want to be contrary, so I'm going to be. I am going to pick Germany.
But Germany's always a good solid pick. I will say this. With all due respect to the world champion, Miss Richardson, I don't care that she's not there. There's no reason in hell this group of USA women should come anywhere close to losing this race.
Yes.
This should actually be a blowout.
Yes, it should.
Oh God, I just looked at who else is on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I was being cute. I didn't. So I only saw the top 4. I didn't see the next page.
Right. And so
I'm gonna take USA women.
I have no idea who's actually gonna run.
Yeah.
I literally don't know. But looking at this,
it low-key doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. No. But I would suspect that Tamari Davis is 1, Gabby is 2, Tamara Clark 3, and Melissa Jefferson anchors. That would be my team. That would be my team here.
Well, for sure, Hobbs is going to run.
Yes, she is going to run.
In the prelims, yeah.
I mean, she's going to run, and you already know she's going to run. But anyway, I think I would have to agree that I think the U.S. women have the best octet for sure.
Okay.
My number 2 in there is GB. Great Britain's going to do well, I think.
All right, so we got left the team debacle, right? Men's 4x1.
Please.
So much.
I mean, listen, I'll call it out. Like the men's 4x1 group is the best, but I think we have some doubts and some shenanigans about which 4 are actually going to run on the track.
Oh, that's actually a very interesting debate. So for those that don't have the list, it is PJ Austin, Kung Fu Kenny, Kyrie King, Courtney Lindsay, Noah Lyles, and Kendall Williams. What team would you run, EP?
I know for sure that PJ Austin, Kung Fu Kenny, and Noah Lyles would be on the track.
Yeah.
Right. Based on the group of people you mentioned, I would run, as a matter of fact, I would probably run PJ at 2, Kung Fu Kenny at 3, and Noah at 4. And then I won't say it doesn't matter because it always matters, but there's a multitude of people you could pick to run one.
Look, Courtney Lindsay is
I
in
was just-
best shape.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, Courtney Lindsay's on fire right now.
Yes,
There
he
you
is.
I
go.
would definitely
So-
run Courtney Lindsay first.
So then I would run Lindsay to Austin to Kung Fu Kenny to Noah, and if you lose, everybody should be slapped.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's my order as well.
based on who they're racing, that group of people should absolutely beat the brakes off them.
Absolutely.
But I will tell you this right now: I'll bet all three of you people on this show dinner if those four people are the people that run in the final.
Excuse me, sir.
the
We
bonus.
don't bet. We're a
That
part
is-
of the
that is the
NCAA
bonus.
system.
So I'm going to go with Anson here. I say Canada wins this.
Ah. Let me go look at the Canadians.
Jolly, or however you say that, he's running. They got DeGrasse.
Listen, the Canadians are always good.
Mm-hmm.
They're always in the mix. And if you keep Andre close enough, I'll take Andre on anchor over almost anybody.
Almost.
But in theory, Noah's supposed to be out there. So I wouldn't. I'll say this though. I have the Canadians with a medal. But I'm feeling more of a bronze medal.
Wow.
Feeling more of a bronze medal for the Canadians. Hold on. Let me check one thing here. Check one thing. So here's the interesting part. Marcel Jacobs and the Italians. Marcel Jacobs is with the Italians for this. And when he runs and Tortu is out there,
Yep.
you know it's going to be good passes. But as usual, our sleeping nemesis. I feel like GB is gonna get second. I think the Great Britain team with Zarnell Hughes out there is gonna come away with second. But those are the four though: the Italians, the Americans, the Canadians, and the Brits. Like that's my group right there. But yes, Team USA, you shouldn't lose that race. There's
I mean,
phenomenal curve runners. And come on, man.
ain't no way.
No way.
there is no way that group of people should lose. But I must say again, I'll be very interested to see which four actually toe the line.
And we would be remiss not to say this. I'm not sleeping on the Japanese or the Chinese because they're always elite with the passes. And no, to our Jamaican fans, no one is sleeping on the Jamaicans. The problem is without Bolt, they've not been relevant before or after. So can't pick them.
Yeah, like this group. I mean, if you just go off of this year, what Lindsay's run 19.7, Bednarik's has run 991. Is that right? 993.
Yeah.
PJ's run 10.0 twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was second leg on the world's fastest relay. Just
That
putting
did
that
happen.
out there.
Weeks ago.
That did happen.
Just putting that out there. You know, for those of you who are here for the PJ Austin slander, you better check the tape. That man held his own against a hot and bothered Christian Coleman on the backstretch at Florida Relays.
I'm so confused by this. Why is Team Liberia on the men so legit and so not legit on the women's side?
I don't know, but the men are definitely better. The men are definitely better.
So, is the bonus question whether they have the off-the-shoulder uniforms or not?
The what?
Well, that's not a
Wearing
bonus question.
uniform.
It is a given.
Off the shoulder uniforms.
Oh, you've not, sir. Just Google Liberia track and field uniforms.
Oh, you talking about like, okay. Yeah, nah. Hey, listen, straight up. Whoever is in control of that.
They paid the gentleman a fair penny. He is he is like a world renowned stylist.
Oh man.
Not for athletic wear.
Hey, I just read the cue cards, sir.
man.
Well, listen, the world renowned stylist should have known that one, the men and the women should have different uniforms. First of all, they should
All I
have
can say is
different uniforms. The
yes,
cuts,
they should.
Sorry,
cuts
big league. I'm
different.
sorry. I'm sorry.
But no,
I mean,
listen.
listen. We can't really be here for too much slander. Team USA's women's uniforms.
Oh man.
No. Wait a minute. No. That narrative is overhyped. It looked really bad on the mannequin. We all agree. Apparently, Queen Harrison has got herself a waxing deal out of it.
European Waxing Center.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very, very funny. But if you saw the fashion show
Yeah.
where
it was,
Rye and
I
the ladies
did.
had them on, it's very normal cut. There was nothing weird about it. It's fine. Y'all picked a mannequin, as usually goes on in the fashion world. You picked a mannequin that didn't really fit with how the bodies of the real humans are. So yeah, it was a little odd, but there's no smoke, there's no fire there.
What it all mounted up to was, I think, the Twitterverse got an idea of what the average female sprinter,
Yep.
how they feel about their bodies and how free and open they are with possibly being exposed. It was shocking, but at the same time, anybody that's been in our sport for as long as we have, totally not surprised. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Oh, it was hilarious.
And for the record, Puma has won the Olympic kit battle. It's over.
That's going to be another debate. We need to save that for another time because we can
get into that.
Yes.
We can get into that.
Yes.
No, but to KST's point, I agree. Again, when I just thought it was the mannequin issue, and I thought that was real, I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. but that quickly changed because of the commentary. I was like, whoa. Yes. Just so y'all know, that's what they want.
Yeah, that's not abnormal. That's been happening.
No, nobody comes to the track and is like, yo, I need more. I need more cover like that. No.
Yeah.
Never.
Just if you're not in that's one of those things. If you ain't in the space, like just
exactly.
I mean, listen, the rest of the world needs to understand that 4-inch boy shorts only exist because of track and field people.
By the way, let me stop.
Those didn't exist in any other world.
Let me stop you right there, Goon Squad. I was just on the Adidas website today. They're actually called booty shorts on the website.
I'm waiting for them to be called Olympic Daisy Dukes.
I'm sitting there with our equipment manager, and I'm like, no, they didn't.
And that's crazy.
Back in the day, were you wearing boy shorts, the French cut bodysuit, or the buns?
My first year, I wore a bodysuit, the leotard one.
Oh, okay.
And then my second year, I had buns and briefs. I mean, briefs and a singlet.
Singlet.
Now you see what they've done there, Kareem. You see what Adidas has done.
Yes.
They now put you in a very compromised position because you can't send any emails talking about 15 pairs of the booty shorts. Can't do that.
Right. You have to type that in.
Right. So if you are an Adidas affiliate, school, or coach, don't make that mistake. Just send it 15 pairs of the style number.
Right.
I don't care that Adidas calls it that. Do not write that.
Not right
Yes.
there.
Get your email.
You can write boy shorts if you must. Do not write booty shorts.
Nope. No
You
one
will-
will
you-
care
they-
what it says in the catalog.
Yes.
Out.
Yeah, don't do that.
What a show.
Right. On that, I think we better cut it off before it goes down even further the spiral. But with that being said, you know, some of you actually are getting into conference this week, if not this weekend, if not this week coming up. But others like ourselves are waiting for another less than 10 days before we actually start the gauntlet of the championship season. So
Mhm.
to all of you out there, may the force be with you, legitimately, because you got to keep it with
Preseason
you.
is over.
That's
It
right.
is.
No,
Yeah,
you guys
we're
didn't see.
out here.
You guys didn't see what she just did there. Chewy's birthday is on May the 4th.
Oh, that's
Oh,
irrelevant.
there you
It was literally trying to be
May the
force
4th
with
be
you.
with you, young lady.
No. So with that, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, take your vitamins, take your echinacea, all that stuff, and we will see each other next week. Have a good one all. Bye.